to Mic Check Waifu Waifu.
Check. Mic check, waifu, waifu. Tell him, is that you?
End of the year, what's happening?
This is episode 184 of Mic Check, waifu, waifu. As always, it's brought to you by Lube Complex and Don'tTalkShop.com. It's also brought to you by our Patreon producers. Make sure you go to patreon.com/MicCheckWaifuWaifu if you want to support us at $1 or above to get early access to our bonus podcast, the after story, as well as bonus stuff that we're going to talk about that's coming later in the show. But shout out to the Patreon producers of this podcast: AB, Aaron Brown, Dre the Goat G, Johnny from Show Go High, Ked the Pro from Chaotic Culture Podcast, Explicitly, Monique Williams, and Nachi. Thank you so much for producing this and many other episodes of the podcast. Without the support of all of our Patreons, this would be a lot harder to do. So thank y'all so much for supporting us. We appreciate y'all so very much. So as I was saying, I don't know. I wasn't saying anything. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Tell, how you feeling, brother?
I'm always good, bro. Always good. You probably just saw it, but I was doing some Pokemon battles. Y'all know, or I don't know if y'all know, but I'm a very big Pokemon fan. So it's real good playing some ranked battles. But Christmas just passed. Polo and I really don't celebrate Christmas that much, but I'm not going to keep my kids out of it, but it is my favorite time of the year. And I love being around family, obviously my wife and my kids. So it was really, really a good couple of days, really a good couple of weeks. It's been real good. So how you feeling, Polo?
I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah. I mean, Christmas is probably my least favorite, as crazy as that sounds, just because I don't like the snow and I also don't like the music. I hate Christmas music with everything in me. As Scrooge McDuck as that sounds, it's just, I don't know. I think that shit is just trash. But outside of that, man, the one time of year that I do like is this particular day. The day is the 26th on the day that we're recording this, and this is my mom's birthday. The 26th is my favorite number because of that particular day. So I just, this is my favorite. Like Christmas is whatever. The 26th is my day because the day of my mother's birth. So
happy birthday!
I'm grateful for that at least. But other than that, I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good. I'm getting ready to wind down here and head back down to Houston.
Back to H-Town.
Yeah, I got to get back down there to fucking, I know I got to drive through Tennessee.
By the time you get here, I think my workout equipment will be here.
Shit. Yes, man. Yes. Hell yeah. I would gladly drive that hour just for not having to pay a gym membership. Bruh, we got a big episode for y'all this week. This week is the end of the year episode. We're going to go through different seasons of anime. We're going to discuss different anime, like what our favorite anime's season was. What anime was our favorite of the season? It's so much that you got to kind of like separate. But then obviously we want to give our anime of the year this year. For those of you that listen to us for a long time, probably know what it's going to be, but we still got to have the conversation anyway.
Right.
There's some close stuff. There's some stuff that wasn't great too. But before we do that, man, what was your episode of the week? Damn near the final week of the fall. Almost, just about.
So I feel like my episode of the week is probably it's Love Flops. I'm gonna go with that one.
Wow, Love Flops again. Interesting. Okay. I mean, that's a great choice. I think you could never go wrong with choosing that as your episode of the week. Where do I want to go with this for my episode of the week this week? For me personally, there is a possibility of, is it? Yeah, it's 2 episodes. It's 2 episodes that could be episode of the week this week. But this week for me, to be honest, man, my favorite episode this week probably would have to be My Hero. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I like the actual wrap up of that last episode for the war part. It felt like a nice cap to that. So I'm gonna go with My Hero this week, which is kind of shocking. Kind of shocking, to be honest, when I look at it. Because again, Love Flops was a great episode.
That was kind of a wild card, Polo.
I know. Shit, I was actually, it's, look at this list. A lot of shit is finished. I gotta try to remember. It could have been Mob Psycho 3 as well. Or, damn, it could have been Spy Family 2.
Spy Family, actually, that was, to me, and we can probably talk about it later, but that final episode was probably like the best episode.
I know.
The entire core that we had.
Yeah. Oh, both cores.
Yeah, because I love when they really get into that mode,
Yeah, true. No, you're right. I think I'm gonna change it to Spy Family because I can't believe I can't believe I almost forgot about that. Yeah. All right, let's talk about these different animes. The seasons wrap up. Okay, so for this season, we're gonna start off with obviously the winter season. What are your overall thoughts on the winter season in general? Actually, you know what? Let me go first with that. Overall, I think this fall was relatively weaker than most seasons. Yeah, I think this was probably the weaker fall season than years past, to be honest. And we're going to get into the years past. But I do think this winter has some heat, but it also
definitely has some heat.
It definitely was the few and far between of this year, though, right? I'm sorry.
I definitely think they were better. There was more heat in other parts of this year, but it was okay.
Yeah, definitely okay. Which is strange to say, because I'm gonna actually get right to it from our homie Huey TJ on Twitter. Make sure you guys follow him. He's super dope. And he brings a lot of great conversation to the anime space, because it's not your just typical, meathead stuff and etc. But he says, I was talking to him on Twitter. He said it didn't go the way I mentioned. I knew the end of More Than a Married Couple, which I'm gonna talk about here in a little bit. I knew More Than a Married Couple was gonna piss me off, but at least we getting more, or at least we better. Is what I said on Twitter. And he said it didn't go the way I hope. And he said I gave it an overall 8.5 after that ending. And if we get another season, I'll be hyped. But question for the pod: what were y'all shockers and overrated for the season? And then he recommends Akaba May War, which is not the first time we heard that one. It's on High Dive, or obviously on sites that shall not be named. As far as what was your shocker for the fall season this season?
I mean, I'm gonna be real. For this season, I thought it was gonna be More Than a Married Couple would be my shocker, but I definitely think Love Flops was the shocker. I definitely think, and I'm only saying that because I legitimately thought it was trash 6 episodes in, and I legitimately was like, I don't even understand how someone is watching this and saying this is good. Then you kind of hit that 6th episode, get to the end of it, and kind of get all the way through that, hit episode 7. You're like, oh, that's why people are saying it's good. Because whoa,
why people or me? Because I think I was like the only one.
I mean, true, but I legitimately think that like as soon as you get to that point, it's just like everything makes sense. And when you said to me in that previous podcast, it kind of changes your perspective on how you watch anime. I agree. I can attest to that, because that made me feel like I should give anime a little bit more of a chance. Even if I think I'm going to hate it 3 episodes in, I almost feel like I should give it a little bit more of a chance to see where the turn comes. That's
a bar. Yeah, you spitting. Yeah, and again, I did that. I've been doing that so much this week, because for instance, like I've watched a couple of shows now. I kind of regret one of them. This week I've watched shows that I just would not watch after the first 3 episodes, and it's called Oramio, which is the American title is something mad weird. Let me give you the American title. Actually, I'm going through my adding list right now. Yeah, it's My Little Sister Can't Be This Cute. I watched it, and it is not. And this just goes to show that what I said is true. Obviously, about love flops changing the way you watch anime, but also it could be the total opposite. I watched 2 seasons of the shit, and both of them were like, it had a moment of, it did have some moments. It had a moment that hit me like almost just as much as ReZero did with episode 14. It was like that kind of moment. But then like the rest of the show is just fucking god awful because it's exactly what you think it is. Like, it turns into some weird, awkward shit that you shouldn't be watching. And I shouldn't have watched it. But I had to stick with it.
And, you know, I kind of agree with that, right? Because, like, yes, obviously there's going to be stuff that really has that change. But there was something that I think we said in a previous podcast episode, and it really like hit me about this specific season. Because this season isn't specifically great.
Right.
But also, just remember, it's okay to be okay. Like, it's okay for anime to be okay. It's okay for an entire season to just be okay. It doesn't have to be fire every single season. And we're still here to enjoy what we're getting. And it's going to be okay for things to be bad too. Like, when you get through season 1, you're like, man, that was bad. I'm going to watch season 2. Then you get through season 2 and be like, man, that was still bad. It's okay. It just happens like that sometimes.
Yeah.
You know? And I feel like in our... in the realm that we're in now, you know, we're going to, digest some really bad stuff and be like, you know, it was bad, but it doesn't necessarily always leave a bad taste in our mouth. It just gives us another perspective on things.
I'll tell you this now. The one good thing about this fall season is that it wasn't much. And because it wasn't much, at least for us, because we decided to, and we had an episode about this year, was we decided to cut back on stuff that we feel like we shouldn't be watching, or trying to force ourselves to watch stuff that we could just not, and it was okay, because I think in seasons past we tried to watch everything, even if we wasn't rocking with it, and that shit was kind of like, I mean, maybe it was wearing on us, but I was able to watch a bunch of different shit now, like so much. Time out. For those of you who are watching the video version of this podcast, make sure y'all subscribe to our Patreon and get early access to the video version, just so you can see what I'm about to point out. Lift up that fucking cup one more time. That is the greatest cup I've ever seen in my fucking life, okay? It is the most presumptuous cup that I never would ever thought in my entire life ever seeing Till drink out of, because this is not who he is, and it is just fantastic.
It's a Christmas gift.
I know whoever Moni got you that, because it's perfect.
No, my father-in-law got it.
Did he? Oh my god, it's so perfect, because it's just, when I tell y'all it's 99% not Till, but it's so funny to see him drinking out of it. It's great. Okay, sorry about that. That shit is hilarious. Y'all got to check the video version out to see what the fuck I'm talking about. It's at 12 minutes in, so just go to the video, even if you listen to it, and check that out. That is fucking hilarious. I'm sorry, that distracted me wholeheartedly. Okay.
All right, back to the topic at hand.
I'm gonna try to. Where was I? What was I saying? Shit, I can't even remember.
I can't even lie to you, bro. You threw me off. All right, but I think you were talking about seasons past. We were watching too much.
Yeah, seasons past, we was forcing ourselves to kind of watch stuff that even was just, that we felt we even didn't have to, and that kind of stopped me from exploring new stuff. This time I was combing through seasons trying to find shit to watch, and I had a hard time. I had a real hard time trying to find new stuff to watch because I watched so much. But I mean, it's able for me to like clean up my
your Annie list.
Clean up my Annie list with shit that I've already watched that I may have missed inside of my shit. But it's been cool, man. It's been really cool to have a season that's just not as jam packed, because I think last season we watched like 18 shows at one point, and that was getting a little ridiculous.
And I kind of want to attribute that as a good thing to this season. Right?
No, that's
that
true.
It wasn't
Yeah,
jam-packed stuff, because I'm gonna be real with you. I would have never watched Quintessential Quintuplets, season 1, 2, and the movie had we had like a lot more on our plate. So I appreciate this season for that, because Quintessential Quintuplets definitely it hit me. I thought it was a really good anime. So to have a season like this to really get to go in and get other content was perfect. It's like think of it as like working out, and you get that set you get to rest on a little bit. You know, it's a lighter set to let you kind of really go ahead and hit that heavier set later. You know,
True. Yeah. So for me, my shocker. Okay, my shocker will probably be. See, this is the thing. I'm always attached to the slice of life stuff because I know how good this shit can be. So more than a married couple being as good as it was would probably be the shocker because we didn't give it much play during our fall preview. But yeah, that's probably to me the biggest shocker of all this fall season. As far as overrated, what was your most overrated this fall?
Chainsaw Man.
For me, Blue Lock.
Oh, okay.
You know, I think Chainsaw Man doesn't get as much conversation as Blue Lock does.
And I think I can understand that one. I think the reason I chose Chainsaw Man is because of how much conversation it got beforehand.
Earlier, yeah.
Like Blue Lock is getting conversation, you know, in the midst of things. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I rarely see Chainsaw Man talked about right now.
Yep.
They put so much emphasis and hype on this, and then to watch that hype and everything just die, almost come to a complete halt for me. And obviously there are people still watching it,
of course,
but it's okay as fuck. It's mad decent at the very best. So it's like Chainsaw Man to me, for that specific reason, having to go into that category, like, yeah, I expected more from Blue Lock, but even like, for instance, this last episode of Blue Lock, I thought was interesting at the very least, whereas Chainsaw Man, I felt like I was just sitting there watching Chainsaw Man, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's watching it. And the reason why I don't say Chainsaw Man is because I personally had it rated where it probably belonged from the get-go. So it's kind of harder for me to call it overrated if I wasn't even considering it to be highly rated in my eyes. Looking on the internet wise, it did definitely die down though, as far as like conversation go. And again, we're not great examples of this because we're probably some of the most rarest social media users with a business that there is. But
I'm trying so hard.
Me too. But like, I think Blue Lock still is, because Blue Lock still I see a little bit more, and it's mostly just from Jay Lee Trey, and I don't even think Rob J has been hyping it up. He likes it though, I think, but he doesn't hype it up as much as the rest of the internet does. And to be honest, it's so boring, man. Blue Lock is so boring. Like that, it literally captivates my feeling on all sports anime. Like I said earlier in the week, except for Hajime no Ippo in Haikyuu, I don't think I don't think I can ever watch sports anime again. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'll be blessed with something better, but I do agree with you here. This episode was a little bit more interesting because it kind of went back to the
training progression.
Yeah. Like the kind of like the PUBG-esque kind of like battle royale elimination shit. I kind of like.
You got the thought of possibly defeating your own friends and teammates thing. That's what I was thinking. Like, y'all done built a teammate, and that's slight spoilers, but you know.
Yeah, whatever.
That's what I was more interested in, is the aspect of, you know, friendships being broken, other things like that. I want it to be more psychological, more. And I like seeing people's hearts be broken in this because that's what it's supposed to be. Yeah. So like last episode, we got a lot of heartbreak at the end. This episode, we still see a lot of heartbreak, but like progression. So yeah. No, I like that better, because when they were just doing the fight versus fight, the game versus game shit, just I don't know. I didn't really care about the stakes because I had a feeling that shit was going to be, you know, average. But this shit is way more interesting. The fact that you fight somebody really good to get the really good person on your team again, which still quite don't make sense for what Blue Lock is. But I'll vibe with it because I'm willing to see how that's going to go. Because again, the point of this is to right. find the best one striker in Japan, right? So right. How the fuck are you going to play the best person, recruit the best person, get a team of what they say 5? What is it?
Yeah, get a team of 5. And then to advance more, like it just doesn't make sense for what the overall arcing thought of Blue Lock is. But whatever. That's a conversation for another day. Eminence and Shadows is really good though this fall. But
it was another solid one for this season. I think it was definitely a shocker. I do think that there was moments of disappointment, but not like anything that takes away too much from the show. Like
Absolutely.
Literally the only disappointing factors of the show is the fact that he's still the Shadow.
Yeah.
But I would love to see him come to the forefront and be like, I'm the main character. Cool.
I know. God, that would be so fucking cool.
Let's be real. It's also, that's not how this story, I guess, it's supposed to be written. You got to take it the way it's supposed to be written. So it is what it is, and we'll rock with it. We'll see what it gives.
All right. Let's get to the moment of truth then, shall we? What would be your favorite fall show this fall?
Hear me out. And I know this counts because it's here. Does it have to be new anime for the year, or can it be recurring or returning anime?
It can be whatever you want. Yeah, whatever fall that you...
It's so hard not to say Bleach, bro.
Yeah, no, you're right. Damn. That does count. That definitely does count. New favorite for the fall, Bleach. Okay. For me, favorite for the fall will be More Than a Married Couple. Obviously, it's a fantastic show. Again, it did what fucking romance anime do. Left you needing more. Right. But More Than a Married Couple still, even with the last episode being what it was, my absolute favorite this fall, easily. While Beast Tamers was up there, it was a pretty good surprise. And Mob Psycho 3 got way better than it initially was. I think More Than a Married Couple was the best this fall for me. All right, moving on, man. Let's take a ride to the past season, shall we?
Let's do it.
Of 2022. Let's go back to summer. Okay. Summer, what was your favorite summer anime? This LaCoya's recoil shit is 82%. And I know y'all keep trying to get me to watch it, but...
Yeah, I feel you. But hear me out, man. Oh my God.
Summer went crazy. Favorite summer anime might be too hard, man.
Oh my goodness. This is actually pretty hard. Yeah, for sure.
Damn, just looking at it here, fuck. Man, I got
that first one for the summer.
Yeah. Cyberpunk. Oh my God, dude. While I enjoy Cyberpunk, I just know the sacrifices that was made for Cyberpunk made it feel a little rushed for me. And again, me knowing Cyberpunk's lore, kind of like almost 100% in the game, which pissed me off that I still didn't do that. That's coming soon though. I did love Cyberpunk this summer, but I think, this is hard because you got Made in Abyss, you got Overlord, you got Classroom of the Elite 2, Overlord 4, Made in Abyss, all rated above 80. Ugh, what a tough favorite to pick here.
All right, bro. We got to pick.
All right, what you picking? Parallel Pharmacy was there. Fuck.
It was.
Okay.
I am going to go with yo, bro, this is actually hard to tell. All right, I'm going to go with because I didn't complete the game of Cyberpunk Edge Runner like you did. But I feel like if you never played the game, that anime is stellar. Like, even though it's extremely fast paced, because the days and months and everything goes by so fast, it's just so good. And I think for what I did play, it demonstrated the world extremely well.
Oh yeah,
so
that's for sure.
I got to go with Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Okay. Rent a Girlfriend should be rated higher than 68, but I digress. Fuck, man. Between Overlord and Classroom the Elite, for me, while Made in Abyss was absolute fire.
I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't choose one specific anime because I figured you're gonna pick it, and I know you're gonna pick it, but I'm not gonna say nothing. But go ahead.
I gotta choose. Fuck, man. Fuck. I'm telling you, this is really hard. Summer. Go back and look at summer, y'all. Go to adding list, look at browse, and hit summer 2022. You'd be like, damn, this fucking year was crazy. But I'm gonna go with, fuck it. I'm gonna go with Overlord. Overlord 4 is one of my favorite anime, probably my favorite isekai. I'll tell you that much. And it continued to just be incredible. And then the wrap of it, oh god, yeah, the wrap of it was just stellar. I can't wait to season 5 to the movie, actually, because the next arc is going to be in the movie. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Overlord, even though it's so much good shit you could pick from summer. All right, taking the trip even further back, going back to spring 2022. Spring was another really, really good year, except for the fact that it had Rising of the Shield Hero. But spring is going to be easy for us to choose. Summertime Rendering, obviously being in spring 2022, so I will go with that for my pick.
I'm not even going. We're not even going to debate that.
Moving on. Last but certainly not least, winter 2022. Now this is kind of interesting. Now, yeah, I know what I'm picking. You go first with this one.
All right, give me a second to kind of
Sure.
This really quick. So you had like Sabakui Bisco, the strongest save of the week is Crest.
Why are you naming all the weeks?
I'm gonna go with my dress up darling.
Oh damn! I just knew you was gonna pick Demon Slayer. Okay.
For what?
No, I'm gonna go with my dress up darling as well. That's an easy choice. Looking back at it, winter 2022 wasn't that great.
Hold up. Let me make sure of one thing, right? Okay, yeah, because technically I was thinking about 86, but 86 was in the middle of that year. It just got delayed.
Yeah, it got delayed. We finished in winter, but it didn't come out in the winter. Whew, yeah. Love of Kill. I mean, Demon Slayer, that arc, Attack on Titan season, the final season 2, part 2, whatever the fuck part it is. I don't fucking know anymore. I can't keep up with that shit. Case Study of Vanitas part 2. I'm surprised you didn't pick that.
I did enjoy it, but I mean, I'm going with what I enjoyed overall the most.
I see. That makes sense. Season Master Tagiya-san was pretty good. Okay. And that wraps up the previous seasons, our favorite for the previous seasons. Okay. Now, the moment you all have been waiting for. Nobody's going to be surprised by this, but this is going to be the anime of the year from Mic Check Waifu. I got to get in touch with Lee so he can make our anime of the year graphic again for us. But, right. I mean, do we even really need to...
Polo, because we know what our anime of the year is. Can we give like a top 3, I guess, maybe? I don't know.
See, you be cheating.
Because everybody knows. Anyone who listens to the podcast already knows what number 1 for the year is. It's not even a debate. You're right. We're not contemplating. We're not thinking about it. We already know.
Okay, so let's do this then. Anime of the year this year is, for Mic Check Waifu, is unequivocally Summertime Rendering. Easiest answer for both of us. We didn't even discuss what our anime of the year was going to be, because normally what happens is we have a conversation between the two of us and say, okay, we like this, okay, but we like this, okay, but we like this. But unapologetically choose Summertime Rendering because it's literally from episode to episode was a perfect 10 throughout. So we don't even need to have a conversation about that. So that's our anime of the year. Top 3 though.
So what I'm proposing, we both agree on the next 2, and it has to be from the ones we already chose.
We both agree on the next 2.
Right. So what's number 3 and what's number 2?
Got it.
I know we already chose for the seasons. We chose what did we choose? We chose Bleach, More Than a Married Couple. We chose Cyberpunk Edge Runners and Overlord, and then we chose My Dress Up Darling.
Okay, so we got to agree on the next. Okay.
And they have to be from that list. From My Dress Up Darling, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Overlord, Bleach, or More Than a Married Couple.
Interesting. I'm going to go for, I don't know. What you thinking for 3?
I'm thinking for 3. I would actually give it to, if I got to go for overall, I'm probably going to go with Overlord 4. Because there's just one that I want to put above that.
Just one you want to put above that? Is that one you want to put above that Bleach?
No. Not
okay. Okay. I'm down with Overlord 4 being 3 then. Because if it's what I'm thinking, then I'm probably going to agree with you on 2. But we got
what you thinking for 2?
I'm going to be honest with you. More Than a Married Couple.
And that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Exactly what I'm thinking.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, because it was either, to be honest, I'm going to be 100% real with you, it was going to be between My Dress Up Darling and More Than a Married Couple. But I remember my feelings that I felt during My Dress Up Darling they were touching and it was cute and it was the best. But we kind of knew that route. More Than a Married Couple was a route we were pondering back and forth. I mean, well, mostly me pondering back and forth between Sayori and Akari, and it was kind of like just an emotional roller coaster that I think people get out of watching My Real Housewives of NBA basketball sleep ladies or whatever the fuck these reality shows are called. Like, I think that feeling that people get out of those is what I got out of More Than a Married Couple, because the conversation that you can have with it, you know, the water cooler moments that we had, the conversation we had for More Than a Married Couple, I think was some of our best spoiler talk we've ever had, period, in this entirety of the show since 2019. Like, truly some of the best conversations we've ever had. I don't know. Summertime Rendering was the best conversations we've had, but that goes without saying because of the simple fact this is our number 1 anime this year. But
it was a hard year for something like More Than a Married Couple to compete with.
Absolutely, man. Big time. Hard to compete with this year. I think that wraps up the past and our anime of the year conversation. Let's move on before we get into the Bleach Talk finale, because y'all know that's coming, because every 2 weeks we do Bleach Talk, which this couldn't fail any better because we got the Bleach Talk finale. So we got 3 episodes to discuss with y'all. Holy smokes, what an episode this is going to be. But let's just put it all in the wraps and talk about what we want to do for next year. And I'll start with, I don't want to say what is coming as far as other projects for us, because I think the other project for us is going to be fucking dope. And before I can get all the ducks in a row, I don't want to give this idea away to anybody else. Okay. I
almost tweeted something funny about it too. I was gonna say put some respect on my name, but I ain't want to talk about it.
This is the first time I've ever gonna keep. Well, actually, no. It's kind of what we do. We kind of keep stuff close to our chest anyway. But I think we're gonna keep that close to the chest. Just know that the top of the year, something is coming. Something new is coming for us, and I think they will put some respect on our name. I do believe that. As far as Mic Check Waifu goes, I think here now, from literally, again, I said this even off air, Tella's is my favorite person in the world. So I will say this. I think me and you should commit to bringing back the after story proper, man. No more long breaks, no more seasonal after stories. Because that's what we basically did. We did seasonal after stories. And our after story podcast is the bonus podcast, only exclusive to Patreon supporters at $1 above. But that podcast is gold. It's absolute gold. If you subscribe now, you have a backlog of about 47, 48 episodes, and they're all great. A lot of them are relevant now. You find out deeper stuff about us, like going to our personal lives and kind of our music tastes and video game tastes, and just how we feel about social media in general. Like, it's a lot of good content as far as the bonus podcast, the After Story goes, but that has to be something that we bring back, like, no questions asked. Set aside a day that we got to plan it. Talk to your waifu, let's set that up and make sure we have a day where we can bring back the After Story proper, because I think that's too important to our entire brand.
Right.
For sure. Because that podcast is great. What about you, Tel? What you got, brother?
No, I can agree with everything you just said. That's what needs to be done.
And then on top of that, maybe we do one or two guests this 2023. One or two.
Yeah. Did we have any guests this year at all?
When did JJK review come out? Was that 2021? Had to be 2021, right?
Yeah, I don't think we had any reviews this year.
Yeah.
Not any reviews, any collabs this year.
We had 0 guests this year. That's crazy. Listen, let me tell y'all something. And this goes without saying. I'm not sure if y'all notice. Okay, we are very big on audio quality. At least I am specifically. Like, audio quality is a very, very big deal for me, because I think when you're listening to something for an hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours, that it has to sound good. Like, if it doesn't sound good, I'm not going to want to listen to it, period. Like, if I'm going to a podcast and I hear somebody coming over a podcast with cell phone audio, I'm not going to listen to that podcast. So I strived, as the editor of this podcast, to make sure that the audio sounds as clean as possible. The reason why we don't do guests is, shout out to Rob J, because Rob J gets it, but guests literally throws off the entire flow of the show. Okay. So it's 2 things that I say that we need to do when we bring on guests. We need to have somebody on that's going to keep the flow of the show, to be able to keep up with us when it comes to the anime conversations. I'm not saying that none of y'all can. Obviously, a lot of y'all can. A bunch of y'all can. And then 2, have audio that's not cell phone quality audio, that's not tinny headset audio. Like, it has to be good audio, because if it's not good audio, then I'm not going to want to listen to it. And a lot of probably our listeners might not want to listen to it. Maybe they will, because they want to support us, and we appreciate y'all for that. But audio is the number one thing if we're going to bring somebody on the show. So I do want us to collab with a few people. Audio got to be tight, though, and they got to be able to free flow with us. And I think I got a couple of ideas in mind of some people who can do that really, really well. So look forward to more special guests, and bring out the guest theme again. We haven't done that since JJK review with Knox, which was a fucking brilliant episode, by the way. That episode was great.
True.
Absolutely great. So bringing on guests is kind of like it's an event for us. It's a big deal. And going places too.
Momentous occasion.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how it is for us going places the same way. We like to, support our homies and go places too sometimes. Rarely we step out. Last time we stepped out was on a podcast that shall not be named, from a friend of ours. But it was just for J. Lee Trey.
Yeah. I also stop by Anime After Dark every once in a while.
Absolutely.
I don't say nothing. Just listen.
Absolutely. Anime After Dark goes without saying. We'll come in there and lurk from time to time, because they're like family. So it's like you can always step in over there and just be like, yeah, Uncle Mike being Uncle Mike again. You know what I'm saying? Or they go Sensei Unc right there doing his Sensei thing. I love it. I do. Yeah, Anime After Dark is somewhere where we always step our foot in, dip our toe in, and just kind of like lurk over there. But yeah, we're going to step out some more places too. And with that being said, Polo, this is the first time I've ever had to tell myself to cue the music and then just go right into it without stopping to wait a day.
Right.
So Polo, cue the music. Bleach Talk finale, bro. Listen, let me tell you. Can I start off, Tell, if you don't mind?
Do your thing, bro, because I got some stuff to say too.
I got a lot of stuff to say too. All right, so I just want to say that I did not read Bleach 1,000 Year Blood War arc. I know it may seem like that from like episode 2, from when we did our Bleach Talk. Listen, if you go back to our beginning Bleach Talk, all of the Bleach Talk episodes are labeled with the episodes that we talked about. So go back to episode 1 and just listen. Your boy Polo literally guessed. Sorry to talk in third person like a narcissist, but I literally guessed the entire arc without even knowing anything. I didn't know a goddamn thing, but everything I said absolutely came true about Ichigo's mom. Obviously, we're going to spoil episodes 10, 11, 12, 13. So if you haven't watched those, just fast forward to the recommendation roulette. But like, I literally knew it. But that, and this is going to go to what I got to say. This is a big deal for me. It was, I guess, the entire arc basically with Ichigo's mom being Quincy and
right.
The Quincy King dad being what's his name, Urahara? Uryu. His dad being the Quincy King. Like that shit was extremely predictable. But this goes to show that all shonen to me, and the reason why I don't like this genre, is so predictable. But Bleach listeners, keep listening real quick. Keep listening.
I was waiting for that but.
Keep listening. As predictable as the shonen is, it's 100% predictable front to back. You could have saw this from a mile away, even if you had a little bit of semblance of what was going on in Bleach. But Bleach does this shit better than no other anime. While it is extremely predictable, the way they're going to spin it to you is going to be the fucking most satisfying shit you will ever see, because it sends you backwards to episodes where you think, oh, that makes sense. Oh, that's crazy. It doesn't feel like shoehorned in like most shonen anime does. It doesn't feel like it didn't belong with the conversation from episode 1, or whenever they talked about, for example, whenever they talked about how Ichigo's mom died, you never felt like, but she's a Quincy, how did she die? You have that question at first, and then they answer it. And when they answer it, it feels so satisfying, like absolutely satisfying, to the point where it's like, man, this shit is great. As predictable as it is, it still feels fresh. I had that shit from episode 2 was crazy.
So I think I said this the last time we recorded Bleach Talk, but legitimately, the name shonen, I think Bleach owns it, man. It literally does everything that the shonen tropes have, but does it right.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't have any complaints about how it played out. Cause yeah, I agree. It was predictable. We talked about, like, obviously, Ichigo's going to do this. And I'm like, Aizen planned all of this, and we see Aizen in this, and, we see all of these things happening. And it's like, man, it's predictable, but the way Bleach makes it like ties it into the story and puts it all together piece by piece, and it's not like I can't say it's a puzzle piece. It's not like they put together a puzzle, because it's not that complicated,
right?
But the way they put it together and the delivery for it is what makes it so good. And that's the crazy thing about it, is delivery.
Oh my God.
It's the same thing with listening to a song. If the delivery on the song isn't good, we don't care how good your bars are. It don't matter.
Exactly.
That's why Cassidy's not famous no more. But
that was your boy too.
He still is. He just trash. But the reality is that, like, what Bleach did and how they do it is it's like a show of mastery. That's what it is.
Yeah, no, what a perfect way of putting it. It mastered the art of just being, kind of basic. Yeah, exactly. Kind of like just a basic shonen. No, I don't think no show does it better, to be honest. And it's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable how everything was so predictable, but I'm still on the edge of my fucking seat. Like, I don't already know. I literally episode 2. Literally episode 2, we predicted the entire fucking thing, basically. The entire arc. The moment they introduced the Quincy King, the moment they saw Uryu, and they showed the fact that Ichigo couldn't get his power stolen. It was like, okay, well, we know he's a fucking Quincy. But they also explain how he's part hollow. They also explain how it was so fucking flawlessly executed that I don't even know how anybody can not say that Bleach is not good. And I was going to tweet this, but then I changed my mind. I was going to say something like along the lines of like, even the Bleach haters are quiet. It's so crazy to see that. Like, maybe they're just not watching it. That could be the case. But to know that you can just, there's no reason to hate this show because it does everything that all of your other favorite anime do. Like, you're again, I hate bringing this conversation up and we hate it. Your big three is doing might just be doing it better. I'm sorry. Right. I'm sorry to say. Like, obviously, I'm not going to compare it to Naruto because Boruto don't exist. But like One Piece, I'm not as far as y'all, so I don't know. I don't know if it can do this pacing or this development as well as Bleach.
Yeah, and I do read One Piece, and I don't think the pacing is on par with what Bleach does.
Unbelievable. And again, we're just anime watchers, so we're not manga readers here. But I can't imagine the manga being any different. It's probably even better. But I guess we should get into these episodes. I don't know how we can do this, but them coming back and just talking about, like, again, the way it dives into the past destroys anything that My Hero's ever done when it talks about the past. I'm gonna just say that now.
So I know we got Ichigo's dad kind of telling the story of the past, and
unbelievably good, man.
Yeah, that's beautiful. But that's not even how it started. How it starts is basically, we had Ichigo and Renji in the pit. Mm-hmm. Renji, it says 71 hours and like 48 minutes or something like that. Renji, you pass. Boom. Renji passed. He's going to get his Zanpakuto back. And you're like, okay, that's dope. Ichigo is on the ground, destroyed, beat up, bleeding. Renji looked like he survived. But they said, and I think we talked about this too, that, Ichigo hasn't been a Soul Reaper his whole life, regardless of what his blood is or whatever. He hasn't been a Soul Reaper his entire life. Right. So to kind of see that he wasn't able to get his Zanpakuto for whatever reason was kind of dope.
It was incredibly dope. He wasn't able to get his Zanpakuto because he wasn't a part of how they grew up. Basically, they grew up from moment one, the moment they get a sword with a Zanpakuto, they learn to appreciate it. They learn to give it care, like the crafter shared, which again goes to show how incredibly important the Squad Zero is. And what it does so well is that it puts in perspective why those motherfuckers were fighting. Like, why would you send these? I mean, yes, they're demons, absolute demons, but you can't send them out.
Backbone.
Yeah. You can't send them out to get slaughtered, even if it's a possibility that they get nuked. Don't even take it, because these people are way too important to the society in itself that it will literally fall apart. As you said, it's the backbone. It's literally the legs, so the Saren Ray can walk. Like, it's a Saren. How you say, is that Sarate? Yeah, it's unequivocally important that they don't fight, even though they are extremely powerful. Like, and that just goes to show what the squad, I forgot what squad leader she is. But when she was like, why didn't you come down and help us? And the motherfucker was like, shut up. You don't get it. Because if you got it, then you would know why. How are you a captain? Like, everything that they said to her, kind of shitting on her, made so much sense, because, like, if they did, and I was feeling the same way she was at first. I'm like, why these motherfuckers so strong and they ain't come help? I think I even said that during one of our Bleach Talk episodes. But this put it in perspective for me when they start talking about what they do and what they've created. They're too important to even. I don't even fucking
to risk it.
Yeah, don't even break a nail, bro. Because how you gonna get Zanpakutos, or how you gonna get like the candy to go into the human realm to basically do their job? Like, it's too much. It's too much value for them to not be fighting.
So after Ichigo gets told, you're not getting your Zanpakuto, bro, I'm not putting it together for you, so don't even worry about it.
Take your ass back home.
Ichigo goes back home, and then they kind of do a little bit of shift back to the Soul Society, where we get to see our squads and how they're recuperating, recovering, and everything like that. Which
is great, because this is their training arcs. And oh my God, this is so perfect. When you have so many characters, and it's kind of taking shots at My Hero, but when you have so many characters like this, to do a training arc for every last one of them is impossible. But they gave us glimpses that were 2.5 minutes long, in an episode that was full of just getting a better understanding of who not only Ichigo was, but other squad captains are. And, you know, our Ice Boy going back to his roots and just learning how to use the sword again without relying on his Bankai. Or our Fox Man going to his grandpop, so I don't even know what the fuck, his clan leader, like, yo, we ready.
Or our scientist going into the lab with his surveillance stuff turned off. Like, y'all can't see what I'm about to do, but I gotta pull something out for this.
I gotta cook. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's so funny. That's so crazy to think about, man. I wonder what the fuck it is he cooking up.
They said the name, but it's just like, we don't know what that is yet.
No idea. Yeah, and just seeing all those people to get the arcs on, but going into his dad pulling up on him, like, yeah, it's time for you to hear the truth, and us getting that truth, that was the best reveal, I think, period. Again, I knew it was coming, but the way it was done was flawless, man. His dad was saved by his mom, basically, and because his mom saved his dad had to give it all up. How the fuck did they prep for this, bro? This far ahead, man.
I don't know. And that's what I was saying. It's been prepped since like episode 1. And that's why I said I'm not Ichigo, but Bleach owns the name Shonen. It's like that they wrote the whole story and said, all right, let's go back and make sure everything is included, conclusive, and hits the same notes. It's like they wrote the whole story, read it backwards, read it forward. All right, let's add these points in. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
And to even see, like, because we get to the point to where we find out that Ichigo's mom could have beat the Grand Fisher by herself. Would have had no problem with it because she has obviously the blue vein. She has the Quincy arrows and weaponry and whatnot. She would have took the Grand Fisher out, no problem.
Yep.
Regardless of the Grand Fisher destroying Soul Reapers left and right, right and right. You know, it don't matter. She would have been able to take it out because that's who she is. But the reason that she lost her power was because you watch whatever we say, how you ever say his name.
I gotta listen to the
dub. Yeah, right. Watch a. He essentially has the ability because he is, and we find out exactly what he is because we knew he's the Quincy King, but we don't know how that title is attained. He is the father of all Quincy's. The Quincy's came from him. Mm-hmm. Essentially, he is the god of Quincy's. When a Quincy is born, he has the right to say, I'm going to take all of your powers because you get to choose who is a pure Quincy and who is not.
So because Ichigo's mom got corrupted by the hollow, she's not considered pure. So at the moment, which they kind of broke down as 900 years, he gets his whatever back. 90 years, he gets his whatever back. But 9 years, he gets his power back. So, and within those 9 years, he got his power back by retrieving the powers from the unpure Quincy. So taking that from his mom at that particular moment was just a string of bad fucking luck for her. Like, other than that, it would have been no problem. She probably still would be here today if that particular day, the particular year, the particular day, the particular hour, the particular minute didn't happen when it happened. She would still be here.
And everything would be fine for Ichigo. Ichigo probably would have never been a Soul Reaper for them.
Absolutely.
Yet.
Absolutely.
Not yet. But
it's so crazy.
I know we kind of skipped over this a little bit, but I just thought it was really cool. They did show Aizen has been doing this. He's been taking Soul Reapers and making them hollows. We found out that the hollow that he had, the all black hollow, its name is White. And that's why the hollow that's inside of Ichigo was white. That's why his hollow form is white. We found out the hollification that they were undergoing couldn't be contained at first. They had to learn how to contain it. So what Ichigo is able to do in his hollow form is technically a new occurrence.
Yeah.
You know, these people, this was not something that was happening 9 years ago when Ichigo's mom died. And
right.
and according to what's his name, Urahara, they've been trying to perfect this for 100 years already, trying to get to this point. So it's crazy that the amount of context they give us in so little time that makes everything just seem right, feel right.
Going back to the past, it all makes sense as to why Urahara knew so much about the holification process and why it was such a big deal. And God, it's so good. It's too
now,
good.
What I also found extremely like just good, right, was how they talk about how to stop the holification. They have to tie the soul to something that is they have to tie the soul to something that is the opposite. So the opposite of a soul reaper is a Quincy, or no, a human.
A human.
So if you have the holification going on, you have to be fused with a human.
Yep. So fusing it with a human is basically you got to be fused with the soul reaper to balance out the human. And if you're a Quincy, wait, how did that go? Damn,
if you're a Quincy, the opposite is, I think it was a hollow.
Oh, okay.
No. The Quincy's have no resistance to hollow. So the opposite of a Quincy is a soul reaper.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so that makes more sense.
A soul reaper, because she is human and because she is Quincy and hollow, they had to inject her with soul reaper and human.
Yeah.
In order for that to be the fix for it.
Yeah, because she was losing her humanity. That's right. Duh. So that makes sense. Damn. Yeah. And
that's how Ichigo is what he is today.
Yep. So with that, he had to be attached to her for the rest of his life, or for the rest of her life, because we know when he's basically hundreds and hundreds of years old, but he had to become human, and he lost all his Soul Reaper's power. Ichigo's dad, that is. He lose all his Soul Reaper powers. He's banished from the Soul Society. All of that shit finally makes sense to know why he was just in the human realm. I thought it was just because he fell in love with a human all this time, but no, that's not the case. Well, partially is the case, but it's a bigger underarching story than that, and it's so fucking special, man. It's so special the way that shit came together.
Not to mention his personal feeling of obligation, right?
Absolutely.
And then to see that that's why Ichigo couldn't get his Zanpakuto back, because he didn't know himself, right? Mm-hmm. Go back to your roots. He didn't know his roots because he was never told his roots. When he got his roots and understood his roots and came to that acceptance, he was able to go back and see this is what he is. Yep. This is who Ichigo is. And he goes back and he accomplishes essentially understanding who he is. But let's even say he didn't understand who he was, even still. Like, he was told what he is, who he is. But then when he goes back to the pit, he gets to go through that again. And he goes in and he sees all the, what do they call it? Oswich, the swords.
Yeah.
He gets to he goes in and they all look at him, and immediately they're like, we accept him, right?
Yeah.
Any of those would have been his Zanpakuto. But he walks all the way to the back and finds the one that is for him.
Yep.
The hollowified Zanpakuto. The only one that didn't turn black, that turned white, was his Zanpakuto. But it even got deeper than that, as we continue to the end of this episode. It got deeper than that.
Yeah. Because now we learn that he has to say goodbye to Zangetsu. So he thought. So
right.
He has this conversation with Zangetsu, which this is the actual only surprise that surprised the fuck out of me, because I didn't even think about the fact that Yowatch, whatever the fuck his name is, looks like Zangetsu. I didn't even fucking put that together in my head whatsoever. I'm not even gonna pretend like I was cool enough to even do that. So
and that's the part that made me say, when did they start writing this story? Did they just start writing the story?
Yeah, right.
Just start doing this.
They started at the 1,000-year blow arc. Like, it's unbelievable to realize the fact that Zangetsu was literally Yowatch, okay, however you say his name. He was literally Yowatch the whole time, and he was suppressing Ichigo's Soul Reaper powers and his holification powers the entire time with Quincy power. How unbelievable is that to even think about? The fact that he was being suppressed this entire time, to know that he had all of this power in the back, just fucking building up to something unbelievable. It's been great.
Yeah, and when you said he had to say bye to Zangetsu, it's not more or less that he had to say bye. It was more of the fact that he had to realize that the hollow was him. The Zangetsu was not Zangetsu. It was him. Everything in this is him. Yeah.
That's what I was going to get to last. But I mean,
my bad.
It's all good. Adequately put. Like, because it was to find out that he was being suppressed, to know that his Quincy powers are not. Wait. We are about to get some unbelievable Ichigo-ness in its next part. Like, it's about to be crazy to watch him work now. To know about his mom, to know all this holification power, all this shit coming together and being Ichigo. Is he about to have two swords now? Is that what I am to believe?
I think that's what we saw.
Zangetsu and Zangetsu. Oh my god, bro!
No, it's not Zangetsu and Zangetsu. It's me, and then the wielder is me.
No, because what he said is, you, regardless of what you say, you're both Zangetsu to me,
right?
Which is big. Oh god damn, dude! What are we gonna do? When are we getting this shit back? Do we know?
Let's look at. Well, I don't know, because did they announce when the second part is coming?
You know,
because I know they're doing
no
like
idea.
40 something episodes, right?
Good question. We'll look it up now on the show.
Regardless, whenever it comes back, we're all gonna be excited for it, because the way they ended this off was like almost like earth shaking for like anime. Like, this is good.
So
this
good.
Is really, really good. To see it wrap up like that. To get all the information we got, and to think that there was so little actual battle in a battle shonen in these last couple, an hour and a half of anime that we watched. There was so little actual battle, but so much context that it felt like action still to me.
Man,
like, that's all I needed. That was way better than I think we even deserved.
July 2023. That's when we getting it back.
I'll take it.
Me too. That's nice. That's a nice gap. That's the 7th month of what is July? Yeah, June. Yes, the 7th month of the year of 2023, which means it's coming this summer. Got something to look forward to. There's a trailer for it that I'm obviously going to watch when we're off air, because I can't watch it during the show. But literally a perfect capstone to probably the best 13 episodes of Bleach I've ever seen in my life. And I've watched a lot of Bleach, so.
We have watched a lot of Bleach. Technically all of it so far.
Yeah, we've watched all of it, except for fillers, obviously. But yeah, no, this is perfect. All right, man. With that being said, overall thoughts, final gut check for the finale of Bleach. What do you think is going to happen?
Wait, that wasn't the last episode? We got more coming?
In July?
Oh. I was going to say,
what do you think is coming?
When we come back, I think Ichigo's still going to have like a little training arc. Because let's be real, he just got Zangetsu and Zangetsu back.
True. Very true.
He needs to understand how to actually use his powers. Can he use hollow powers and solar powers and Quincy powers all at the same time?
Tell him.
So we need to see what all that entails. But I also want to know, like, he has human friends who have powers. Does his human side also have powers? We need to see, like, what's the full understanding of what Ichigo's soul contains. And I think that's what we're going to start off with
when we come back.
Whenever it comes back, yeah.
I like that. I agree with that. The one thing I will say that disappointed me about Bleach was Uryu going to the Quincy King side. So I think with that, we're going to learn what that is first. I think that's going to be the first, because it ended on that, right? The last thing was Uryu talking, going to the Quincy King, and Quincy King saying, let's fight together. I think that's going to go to him learning as much as he can from the Quincy King, and then being a part of the battle that helps Ichigo fight it, because he know damn well, like, this guy, he knows how to.
Uryu ain't that shady. He shady. Yeah. He ain't that shady.
No fucking way. Like, there's no way that he's gonna side with the Quincy King. So I think there's gonna be like a kind of like a start with him, and then going into what you said. I think what you said from there is perfect. But I think they're gonna start off with Uryu first, because we need to see what the fuck is up with that. All right, let's do this. Let's get into this recommendation roulette, and then move on to spoiler talk. for three things. Spoiler talk before we get into the recommendation roulette is going to be My Hero. Episode, what was that, 12, 13? Yeah, so episode 13 of My Hero. The finale of More Than a Married Couple, and then episode 11 of Love Flops are going to go. Well, probably all the way up into episode 11 for Love Flops. Cattell had a lot to talk about for Love Flops last week, but we couldn't get to it, so we're gonna get to it this week. Yeah. So recommendation roulette. Is it, whose turn is it? Your turn? Okay. Tell turn and roll the number for the recommendation year. See what we get.
2019.
Wow, great year. Because it's the year this podcast started. Something not popular. We had this year before, for sure.
Yeah. I got mine.
What you got?
Oh, I never finished that one. Hold on, I'm gonna add that to my going to watch. I am going to go with Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress.
Okay.
It's essentially, it's not like, don't think of it as what was that zombie anime?
High School of the Dead.
High School of the Dead. It's not like High School of the Dead, but it is a zombie anime in a sense. It's a nice little twist off of it. But it's a really good, just if you want to go back in like what do they call it? The medieval like Japanese prefectural times where they had, swords and stuff like that, and they were fighting like samurai and stuff. The shogunate time.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's in that time frame. It's still got like powers. It's about a person who is half zombie, half human, and she's the one fighting the main antagonist. But yeah, it's a pretty decent anime. It's on Netflix, I think. I binged it in like a day, 2 days. Nice.
I remember we had this conversation about this year because I mentioned quintessential quintuplets, and this is why we had that poll. I think that's the reason why, because I mentioned quintessential quintuplets being what you should watch for 2019. Last time we got this year, but this time I'm gonna go with Oresuki. Oresuki is a really, really funny anime where, again, about a character who's just trying to be the side character of a story with a girl who's extremely mysterious to our main character, and it's very, 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 very dope art design. As far as like the character's eyes and the way it looks, it's a great looking show. Who was the studio that did Oresuki? The studio that did it was Studio Connect. Connect is actually a really decent studio, so I do recommend Oresuki if you're okay with a little ecchi. That's what I'll say.
Sounds good to me.
All right, we're gonna take this quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna spoil those 3 shows I mentioned earlier. We'll be right back after these. and welcome back to episode 184 of Mic Check Waifu Waifu. Right, let's get right into the spoiler talk. This is spoilers for episode 13 of My Hero Academia. So if you haven't watched that, don't listen to this half of the podcast. But episode 13 of My Hero Academia had to be probably, again, a beautiful cap to an arc that was extremely good. Again, paced perfectly, beautifully animated, an amazing arc of this show. This show, it put the show back into the front of my eyes. Now I don't know what's going to happen 14 through 25 or whatever, the 10 more episodes we got left. I don't know if it's going to continue to be this good. Probably not. But
I kind of feel the same. Because I do know what's coming.
Okay.
But
give us sorry, y'all. Yeah.
All right, but the issue that I see with what's coming is that, like, the slow parts of this are literally only like not a lot of chapters, right? There's like a chapter of slowness, but it's right back into the action. And I feel like the way this is going to go, that there's no way they can really slow this down still. Like it'll feel slow for like, and it is because this is why I'm saying I don't know how they do it. And this is why I don't actually produce anime. But to me, from what I've read, it feels like the slow parts are conversations that can take place in like maybe 5 minutes tops, and then they get straight back into the action. So we'll see how they're going to actually push forward with this.
Yeah. Obviously, we knew Shigaraki was going to escape because there's still so much more of this, I guess, manga left. Or maybe it isn't. I don't know. I don't know much about... without giving nothing away, how many seasons would you say is left?
From what I've read, I think that they can end this season. They can end the season on like a really high note with revealing like of like All Might's.
Again, you don't have to go into spoilers. Just how many seasons do you think is left?
Okay, maybe from what I've read, like maybe two
more seasons,
like two or three, because where we at now is where it gets dark, and the next season I think is gonna stay dark. So I'm not sure.
Okay, so
it seems like 2.
So okay, maybe. So 8 seasons in total is what you're saying, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. 8 seasons of 25 episodes. I think that's good. I don't, because I say that because I'm worried about Mob Psycho. How can I word this? I love what Mob Psycho did and just ended it after 3. Ended it after 3 was absolutely perfect for Mob Psycho. Again, the beginning of it was a little bit slow, but it still wrapped up everything nicely. It was a great wrap to a show that's good. Like, I would consider Mob Psycho to be great, and that's it. If I get no more Mob Psycho for the rest of my life, that's perfect because we don't need any more. I'm kind of worried about My Hero being a little too overzealous, man.
Overstaying is welcome. Because
overstaying is welcome.
Mob Psycho was a great binge because watching week to week was not it for me. But at binging those last like 6 episodes, whatever, was fire. But with My Hero Academia, the issue with My Hero Academia is that there's so much political stuff to tackle in there. And then right now, where it is in terms of the manga, like where I'm reading now, I feel like where it is in the manga right now, they're slowing it down with the political stuff, and it's getting boring. So yes, it can. I can see the final season getting really, really stale, really, really quickly, and people being like, "Okay, we need more. We need more action back injected into this," because the politics and stuff that is getting in like the current season or the current manga is like I just give me what I came here for, please.
I don't know. I think this is a good wrap to this arc. I just hope. I would say now, if the rest of this is just trash, which I'm hoping it's not, but if the rest of this is just trash, that means 50% of the anime is good, 50% of the anime is bad. Now, with as good as the first half is, because the first half was so good, I would consider this a good season, even if the rest of it is bad. Even if the rest of it is bad, because of the first half being good. Absolutely. Because to me personally, every episode in the first half was good. Damn near great even. If the rest of it is bad, at this 50-50 juncture, in my personal opinion, if I because of the beginning was so good, I will consider this a good season. Now,
I got questions. Go ahead.
Now understand what good means, okay? Good is not great. Great is an 8, okay? Good is not great. Great is an 8. So, with that being factored in, I will give it a 60%, or 6.5. That's good, not great.
And that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is like, how good was this first half for you to still consider it good if the next half is trash?
Because again, is that 50? Is 13 episodes 50%? Oh no, it'd be like 45% if the rest of it is bad, roughly. If you want to do percentages correctly, I'll say about 47%, because it's 13 and it's 25 this entire season. So yeah, it'll be about 47%. But it has to completely shit the bed to be a failure.
And to be fair, I don't think it will.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, I've already kind of like read all this. What, in terms of like the how everything played out in this episode, how did you feel about it?
It was brilliant. It was brilliant. I do agree with you, and will forever agree that all for one, whichever the fucking one is, the one that's bad. I hate him. He's just fucking garbage. Every time he's on screen, every time he talks, it grinds my gears. But, it doesn't even make sense. It still doesn't even make sense to me. But I think it makes sense for Sugar. Dude, he could have escaped. Oh God, no! I'm starting to come down on this episode. He could have escaped a different way, and it would have been cooler. But still, I love the way it wrapped up. Basically, I love the way it wrapped up with how the League of Villains is like, yo, this is something I have to do. I have to do sacrifices for the cause that we believe in. I thought that was the coolest part about it. To be honest, I was kind of rooting for the guy with the mask, because he never got shine, period. And they basically mentioned that this entire episode, how he was just there, and I think that's cool, man. I think when they recognize that kind of shit, I think that's really, really cool. I don't know what it is about it that I like about that.
He played his role. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And I do think that he had they really emphasized his role in this specific part, because he wasn't so emphasized in the manga, but they really, really emphasized his role in here and gave us more backstory on him. I thought it was actually really cool to see him do what he did.
Yeah, I agree.
The big thing with how it kind of all played out, though, was that
give Tell a second. I'm sorry, I'm not cutting any of this out because I got to edit it the same day this episode has to be uploaded. So we just gonna have to rock with this awkward silences a few times. But
the big thing is that the characters, y'all, I know y'all hear my baby, but give me a second. The big thing with how this is going is basically that they need to overall finish the development of Shigaraki's body, and we've already seen the development of Midoriya getting more action and utilizing his quirks and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
But the big thing with that is like, how do they jump to the next part? Because what's about to happen is, I mean, a lot of this can't be reverted. The people in the world have already seen and kind of feel shaky about the heroes now. The heroes, and it's not, like I said, we talked about this before. It wasn't it's not more or less like the adult heroes. It's more about the kids. The kids are already shaky on how the adults are operating things, and we saw that 2 seasons ago. Previous season, we saw all of that, right?
Yeah.
So I do think that that's going to be cool, but I don't know how they're going to really play on that in terms of what they give us for the next 10 episodes,
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see because they even showed for the preview of the next episode how they Midoriya, because he's the narrator, he mentions how the world is shaky on heroes now, or the world is suspect on a lot of heroes after what the play that Dabi made. And that's going to be interesting to see if the looks that the heroes are going to get now, even though they just fucking fought for their lives, that's going to make I even think it should make a lot of heroes reconsider, like, what am I doing this for? If I fought for my life to show that I care about society, for them to just basically give me the side eye. And I think that's something that they should emphasize in the next episode. I will be happy if they do, because I think, let's say all the heroes are coming, they're getting up, they're walking, and they're helping each other up, and they're like fucking limping and shit. And it's like, but then you see the fucking people of the world just kind of looking at them like, I think that's going to be a huge thing that they should play on big time. So for gut check, that's going to be my gut check for the next episode, because I kind of want to move on from My Hero. It's My Hero is my least favorite thing to talk about during spoiler talk, only because you just know everything, so it's kind of boring. But I will say that's kind of what I want to see as far as the rest of like this goes and how that kind of plays out. They got a lot of recovering to do. It's a lot of heroes that's dead or half dead or broken and ain't gonna ever be the same again.
We're not gonna never see again.
We're not gonna never see again. So yeah, I'm looking forward to more of that. Moving on though. More Than a Married Couple had its finale. Its finale did what most slice of life do, but I think it still did it in a very tasteful way, because to be fair, they assumed that this shit was so good that we're gonna get another season.
Right.
So with that,
look, I know how people feel about, like, or how you feel about slice of life endings like this.
Yeah.
I loved this ending. Was I salty at the end? 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
I was mad. Me and Monique was both looking at the screen. I can't believe they just ended us on that cliffhanger. They ended us on the cliffhanger like that. But how everything overall played out, what we got to see, how we got to see Jiro, Sayori, and Akari all kind of acting out their moments, their thoughts and stuff like that. I still think Jiro's a bit of a dunce kind of dude, because come on, bro. You got to recognize something here. You got to be a little bit more
aware.
A little bit more aware, a little bit more intuitive. So I do enjoy that. But like, we got the beginning with him spending time with Sayori, right?
Right.
And that was like, I was like, man, that was good. But I'm rooting for Akari, so I couldn't wait for him to get to that end. I'm like, boom. Let's get to where he actually sits down and talks to Akari and gets that experience. Yeah,
and it goes right into him calling her out for a date, or she's calling him out for a date because she's bored. And with her mentioning like, yo, this isn't even. Oh my, no, wait, let me go back. Because when he was spending time with Sayori, I think it's important the fact that he had something to say, or he was about to say to Sayori. But when he saw that picture of Akari and them at the beach, he completely flips the script. Now it's starting to become a self-realization like, damn, do I, she's supposed to just, I don't know what to do. Like he second guessed his thought about asking what he was about to, when he finally worked up the courage to ask what he was about to ask to Sayori, to think that, damn, seeing Akari there got me second guessing that now.
Right.
So he's slowly starting to come into it. Knowing that we're probably gonna get a second season, I feel like it was imperative that they made it so that we did get some progress. And the progress we did get was huge, because now it's a declaration of this is a fight for Jiro. And both Sayori and Akari knows this now, I think.
I think the most important part was the ending, though, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Because although it ended on that cliffhanger where we don't really know who he picks, what it did end on is that they all end at a point where they can actually switch partners now. Yep.
That's the very last screen that they show.
Oh my God. And I was like, yo, they gonna switch partners?
You think they are?
I think they're gonna switch partners, and I think we're gonna get the exact opposite, right? Now we're gonna get way more Sayori and less Akari. Like, kind of how we did things. And the most The most important part about
you a
that.
beast with that push to talk button.
I'm trying, bro. That push to talk is important. But, what we're gonna get is the flip, right? Because I think that she's gonna like Akari's gonna be with like Minami or whatever his name is, and I think what's gonna happen is that she's gonna realize that yes, she still loves Jiro, but this whole point in the experiment is that love is not something that just happens on first glance or just because you're friends and grew up together. Because Jiro realized in that moment when he saw that picture that if I was really in love with Sayori, I wouldn't be thinking about Akari right now.
So here's the thing. Oh, fuck it. Let's just go to it. Let's just go to the meat and potatoes of the gut check, I guess. Akari will have to confess when she realized that they can change partners, right? So like when she realized that they can change partners, I think she's going to have to finally buck up and just say, hey, Jiro, listen, I realize that I love you. And then that's going to be a huge thing for Jiro to be like, oh shit, now do I even want to still switch? Because I thought you loved Tenjin. And I was mostly going along with anything that you wanted because I feel like you wanted him. Now that I know that you don't, maybe I don't want to switch either. And that's, right. I think, is going to be the biggest dilemma between second season.
And the biggest part to piggyback off of that is the beginning of the episode, the very, very beginning. What did we see at the very, very beginning? We saw Akari saying, I'm going to give it everything I got.
Yep. She went to the shrine to pray for it. Like she said, sorry, it's different from the last person I was since I was here, but I'm about to give it all I got. Huge, man. Huge.
And that's why I thought that date with them is so important too, because she made sure that she said something. Look, we haven't talked since that. We need to go out.
Damn, man. This is going to be huge implications, man. I just love this show. I think it's so good. I don't know how long I'm going to have to wait. Let me see if I can do a quick little Google search to see if anything has been announced. I'm up on this shit when the episode ends, but I just wanted to move on, I'm
going to say top 3 of my slice of life.
Top 3.
I haven't watched that as much slice of life as Polo, obviously, but top 3 for me.
I know, I like that. Let's see here. I'm Googling it right now. Morning Married Couple But Not Lovers season 2 ?
I'm gonna probably say My Turn Romantic Comedy Snafu number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna say More Than a Married Couple.
For now, because again.
For now, you're right.
If season 2.
And then Quintessential Quintuplets.
The More Than a Married Couple But Not Lovers season 2 anime show will have Jiro trying to choose me. So okay. But when will season 2 come out? Oh no, they just got it. It's just a prediction.
Not announced yet.
Yeah, it's prediction pieces. They do have something from the artist on their Twitter, from Studio Mother, which is the studio that shows the art of the race in its different stages, which is pretty cool to see. I guess we just have to keep a close eye on Studio Mother's Twitter.
I thought you said Steal Your Mother. You said Studio Mother.
Studio Mother's Twitter. So all of the first season, episode 12, followed a stopping point corresponding with the manga's chapter 29. Don't read it, people. Stick with us and just watch it with us, okay?
It's so good.
I know, it's making me want to read it, but yeah, okay.
I feel like we both kind of already gave a little bit of a gut check.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we definitely moving on, but I just want to see if there's nothing on season 2 yet. So, fuck. All right. I digress. Let's move on. 2.
So before Polo start talking.
Yeah, go ahead. Love flops.
I want to say that I feel like this is the year of Tell Slice of Life Awakening, because I've been watching Slice of Life already.
Sure.
But I feel like there was too many good Slice of Life this year.
Hello? Did I lose you?
Wait, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. You was pushing the wrong button.
Yeah, I was. I hit the space button probably. I don't know. All right. But if there's so many good Slice of Life this year, and I feel like if it would be reasonable even if that we didn't have things like Summertime Rendering and Bleach, that Slice of Life could really hit number 1 for the year.
No, you're right.
Right. And like More Than a Married Couple was already a surprise for me. Love Flops, it almost feels like a mix of some of my favorite things. Isekai, and currently right now, Slice of Life. It feels like a pretty decent mix of those things. And the cool thing about it is that we get these emotional pieces. We get these unrealistic, super ridiculous moments in terms of like what happens in the AI world. But everything still means something. It still shows that these AI are advanced enough to feel human emotions, you know, to feel like real things, and how they develop so quickly, to actually give a real tie to our main character, who doesn't want them to just be deleted, doesn't want them to just be gone. I have in a sense fallen in love with this anime. I love it.
It's great. It's absolutely great. I couldn't agree more with everything you said. Like it covers so many. Again, watching this show from the beginning, I literally so many times was thinking like, why the fuck am I even watching this? You know, that was my thought process. Why am I watching this? Why? Because it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. And I enjoyed it. What happened was I started to like the characters. That's what completely flipped this on the head. I started to like the characters, and why I continue to give this a chance, even though there was no coherent story attached to this whatsoever. Like there was nothing coherent about the first 6 episodes. It was just bizarre moment after bizarre moment after bizarre moment. And I said this last week. It was something about seeing those glimpses of the past between the different girls that had me curious as to what the fuck is this, because that's the only reason why I knew it was something more, is when I kept seeing those glimpses of the past, because I'm like, there's no way that all of these girls met them in this childhood. So what the fuck is this? And when that happened, when the 6 through 7 episode flipped for me, I'm like, oh shit, now he's back in the real world. He's depressed about this and this and that. And the reason why he hasn't gone to school is because of his best friend's past. Like it was just so much more to this shit that literally blew my mind, and the way they executed it was perfect. I can't say nothing bad about it.
Can I say something?
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been feeling this. I think I've said this already. I think that everybody is an AI except for the people working on it. And I'm only saying that, hear me out, because every character, all 5 of the girls, and obviously the main girl, I feel like she's human in general, but everybody, including our male main character, they all have AI in their name. But everyone who is working on the actual program, none of them have AI in their name. They may have A, they may have I. None of them have AI in their name. And I know this could just be speculation, like BS. You know, I could be entirely wrong.
Sure.
But I do think that, because they've already hit us with twist as we've gone through this anime, right? I do think it's super cool because they could be pitting an AI with other AI to develop them, in a sense that, can AI fall in love and show AI have that human interaction like that?
Sure.
And that's part of the reason why I love it so much, because we don't know until we get to the end. And that's why I love watching anime so much. But I have this anime is keeping me on my toes at this point. I don't know what to expect. And I love that. I love everything about that. So in this most recent episode, we got to see, I think the last episode we saw Mangfa, she got deleted. This episode we see Ilya, Amelia, and Karine all get in situations where they end up deleted. And our main character he's not feeling it. He's not happy with this. He doesn't want to say his goodbyes. He's going to go to the point to where he sees I and Aoi now. And I don't really know even what to think.
It's hard to even, to be honest, I stopped guessing what was going to happen in the show after the flop, you know, like after it flipped. I just stopped guessing, because there's no way to know. Next week is last episode. Actually, 2 days is the last episode. So I'm gonna find out from there. But I do think something about them having AI in their name is very interesting. A very interesting concept to think about. But I think that'll suck for them to all be AI. I don't think I would like that as much. But I get it. I get why it would be.
I think if they are all AI, it'll give us something ridiculous like And this is kind of a gut check, but I think if they do give us that they're all AI, it would be that him and her died at some point, but his AI, his brain was salvageable to the point to where they could make a fully cohesive AI, and hers had to be done a little bit differently into those 5 people. I'm not saying that that's what should happen. I'm just saying if they do it, that would be a good way to make it not seem like pure trash. Like they just did an ass pull kind of thing.
No, she wasn't just put into the 5 people. She was a part of the reason why the entire society runs on the AI. She was the structure of the AI that runs the entire world now. So I don't know if that is that different, but like they're that detailed, I should say. I just think that I don't think we're going to get any more of this. The manga is still releasing, so possible maybe, but I think episode 12 is probably going to be in there because it's not highly rated. To be honest, the rating went up from what it was, and it's probably because of the flip that it hit everybody with. It was a 50. It was a 57 before, now it's a 62 weighted score. So entirely possible that we probably won't ever see this again. So it's hard for me to get too attached knowing that it's probably going to be
even though it was real good. Might have to go ahead and pick it up and read it. Yeah,
true. Might have to do that. So I'm gonna figure out where it ended and maybe pick it up and finish it. But I'm intrigued for sure on how the shit's gonna end, because we know at the end he's meeting Oi.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. We got to see where that goes from there. No idea. I'm looking forward to it though.
For sure. I'm excited.
I'm shocked you like it as much as you do.
I like twists, bro. That's why I like, and that's not why Summertime Rendering is so good. But I do think that having a decent twist where everything isn't just as it seems, is imperative to some of these really good stories. And not every story needs a twist, but this is one
that makes sense.
That started off, with a decent twist.
Yeah, because what it does is it starts off showing you that this is the future. And I think that's what was so important about making that twist work, is that they show how futuristic that his world was, even though they didn't have to, because it was a virtual reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think thinking about it now, I think that's the most important piece about this whole thing, because if they didn't show the fact that he was walking through like these sliding doors and he was talking to his AI TV and his alarm clock wasn't pseudo sentient, like it wouldn't be as impactful, because you wouldn't think that what really happened could happen the way it did if it wasn't for the fact that they showed off that this is kind of in the future, which was huge. It's pretty good. Damn, this shit is really good, actually. It's funny that it's getting this much hype from us. It ain't getting nowhere else, I'll tell you that much.
We always do this, you know.
That's why you rock with Mic Check Waifu. That's a wrap, brother.
All right, y'all know how it is with thick episodes. Y'all don't really get recaps on that, but we just finished talking about Love Flops.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. This is and then in the notes is crazy. So, listen. I'm at Polo Born Fly on all social media.
I'm at King Taliano on all social media.
You can follow our social medias at Mic Check Waifu on Twitter and at Mic Check Waifu on Instagram and TikTok. Happy New Year. See y'all in 2023. And as always, Mic Check.
You're now tuned into Mic Check Waifu. Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you?